Hello everyone. Do you wonder how to connect with your higher self guide and your soul plan energy? Well, here are 10 tips and my own experiences of how to do this successfully. So, first one is create quiet time daily. So, a higher self being, this beautiful guide that could be called a gatekeeper, is here to look after you and guide you through your life. And they're either a physical being or a light transcendent being. They are trying to guide you and communicate with you physically as well as mentally. And they're always there, and it's telepathic communication. But because we live very busy lives, it's very hard for them to communicate with us clearly. And it's something we have to work at to communicate and know our guide is there. So stillness daily is very important. So I'm very lucky I've now got my teaching space back in my house and I can come and sit here and connect with my guides. And you can just sit setting that intention for them to be with you. And you might feel senses of energy, you might feel hot and cold, you might get a soft feeling on your face, you might get a tingling in your hair, you might hear a word, you might hear them communicate with you. But so stillness allows this higher connection. And this, don't laugh at this, but some of the times they get me in the house, because I live quite a busy life, is when I go to the toilet and I sit in there to do my business, and all of a sudden I'm in my zone, I'm in my mindfulness, I'm in the now, and they go, oh, we've got to tell you this, or don't forget that, or can we inspire you to do this week? So even though I connect quite a lot with my guides, running my busy human life, I'm not connected to them all the time, and they find those moments. And also when you go to sleep and in dream state. So quiet times is when you're going to find that strong connection with your guides, and meditation as well can work for you. It helps calm your mind. Meditate regularly is the second tip. This strengthens your inner connection. It just helps your mind calm down. You let go of what you're worrying about there, what you're worrying about what's going to happen the next day, and then you're here. And this is where your guides can zone and connect. Now, in my early stages of connection, I had a lot of visualization with my guides, and they took me on journeys. So I had a different experience. A lot of people say when they meditate or they go off into the black, or they don't really know what's going on, which is fine, because that's another way your guides can meditate. You have a subconscious, and when you meditate, they can telepathically give you downloads, light codes, and information. So you might not always be aware that they're doing this. And you can set that intention when you meditate. Can I meet my higher self? And they might take you on a little journey, and there'll be a lovely being or someone waiting for you in a forest on a chair or something, and you get to see them. But you can live your life in trust and not see them. It's just a knowing that they're there. So number 3 is to ask for guidance. Be open and clear in your intention. So you've got this beautiful being who wants to work with you, and there's other guides as well. And just say, can you give me guidance, please? I need help with this. And give the worry over to them, and set your intention for this. And then tip 4 is you have to listen within. Answers often come as feelings, thoughts, or knowing, or signs. So get to know your signs that your guides can leave you. You can make a deal with them, say, leave me a feather or something. And just start to understand signs like synchronicity, numbers, and just try to bring that as part of your life. There's no point in asking for guidance if you're not willing to learn about how they can give that back to you. And again, it might be a gut feeling. So number 5 is trust your intuition. Now, we mentioned the soul plan. The intuition is this energy within. The soul plan is a plan, a sphere of energy that sits within you, that grows in strength as you grow as a human. And your higher self is the instigator of this plan of university Earth. And the intuition is when something happens with you physically in your mind, and you think, right, this job here or that job there, and you get a feeling it's that job there, and that's your gut feeling, that's your intuition. It is guiding you. But if your ego steps in and go, actually no, that job over there is offering me 10 more quid a week, and go over there, you're going to find it won't work for you and you'll end up back over there anyway. So your paths will shift and change. Your soul plan is not set in stone. So you just got to learn to work with this intuition and start to, and again, it's all about the first ones leading up to that. Create time, meditate, ask for guidance and listen. All of that becomes part of your intuition. So you're asking your guide for help there, the information is going to come through here, the heart space, and the telepathic communication. Let go of control is tip 6. Allow your path to unfold naturally. If you're impatient and you're trying to control it, and you say, I want, I want this to grow. I want to connect to my higher self now. Why aren't I getting it? Why aren't I listening? Why aren't I doing this? Why is somebody over there saying they can hear their guides and see their guides and draw their guides and I can't? It's because you're blocking it. You're being impatient. So the controlling element of it comes from the ego. And I found years ago when I just let go and trusted is when I started to see my guides clairvoyantly, see them in the room, draw them, visualize them in meditation, astral travel. And once I just let go and just allowed and not let my human barrier block me, a lot more things connected. Also, tip 7 is to follow what feels aligned to you. Your soul plan guides you through resonance. So if you're drawn to do something, or you're drawn to a certain person, or perhaps, and you feel a friendship there, follow that resonance of energy, because it is all energy, and if something feels aligned to you and that other people say, oh no, that's not right for you, yet you feel it's aligned, trust your intuition. And it's not an easy process, this, but you do have to really start to learn to trust yourself. The other tip 8 is write down your insights. Journaling helps you recognize patterns and guidance. If we go back to asking for guidance and listening, they might want to communicate through written process with you. So journaling your experience of connection with your higher self and your soul plan, and learning how to work with it, write down your thoughts of how you're feeling with it. The guidance you feel might be given. You ask a question, see what comes back. And gratitude as well. Gratitude of the journey you're on with your guide and your soul plan. You can write that down in a journal. It's a very good way of... I used to do it quite a lot. I don't so much now. I don't feel I need it anymore. But in my early days, writing was a big part of my experience with them. And I got some journals in my drawer, and I go back to them now and I think, oh wow, how much I've grown since then, how much more I listen now, how much more understanding I have. So it is good to have that insight as you move forward. Number 9 is to stay present. A lot of this with your higher self and your soul plan, we're connecting into the higher energies. But if we can learn to stay present and grounded within this environment we're trying to create with this communication, it helps. It's all about being in the now and the presence and not overthinking everything. Do you remember I said about worrying what everybody else is experiencing? You're all different. I could have 10 people in a room, every single one of them would have a different experience of how they connect with their guides and what they feel and sense. And they say to me, well, why don't we do it like you? And I say to them, well, I've been through this learning curve, and my journey was to be a leader of knowledge, bringing forward my guides' words and teachings. And part of this is what I experience with the guides and seeing and feeling and whatever else, so I could teach it. I just have that privilege. It doesn't mean to say that you won't have a similar experience one day, but it's part of the growth pattern, or you have it straight away. And some people, I had somebody the other week who said, all I see is colours. And I said to her, you're very highly ascended. And she said, am I? And I said, yes, because they come in on light colour waves, the harmonic sound, colour and light. And they present themselves in colours as one of the highest ascension points. They don't have to show that person who they might have been, an Indian or a monk or a nun on earth at once, one time in an incarnated life. They're showing themselves as their pure light conscious self. And that acceptance of their colours is like the ray beings, is how they present themselves, is a higher ascended than actually needing to see a physical form. So, I I really think that's quite amazing. So it's quite interesting, isn't it? And number 10, the last one, is basically be patient and consistent. The connection deepens over time. So consistence really means consistent quiet space, meditation, um, linking with your guide, sitting in a space, following your intuition, not being, so I know when I started off on this spiritual awakening, I discovered Reiki, meditation, angels, cards. I went absolutely crazy. I did loads of stuff, and I ended up doing too much, and it became all consuming for me. So I always say to people now, just do a bit at a time. Be drawn to that, do that. Give yourself a bit of space afterwards to let it work and resonate with you. Then do the next thing, because otherwise you just can't cope with it. You can burn out because as your work start to work in very higher energy, and we're not used to it. And I found over my experiences over the years, I've slowly ascended my energy to cope with higher resonance, especially with the trance, higher communication and higher knowledge. So I start to understand the higher knowledge that's now coming in. And you'll find with all of these 10 tips, working them as a whole, see them as a whole, your higher self and soul plan, you'll become more aware of it. It's always connected to you. It's about learning to listen and trust. Just learn to listen and trust. And be patient. Don't try and fast track it, because it's going to happen as it needs to happen for you. So happy connecting with your higher self and soul plan. And enjoy the journey, friends, because that's really what it's all about. You've got to enjoy it. Be in it and enjoy it. Take care. Bye.